Hello, you. It's me. And I just watched a video by Becca Scoops. The name of the video is 5 Truths About Gypsy and Nick That Changes Everything. And they're not wrong with that title. I feel a little under duress. I'm laughing, but it's a nervous laugh. It's not a happy laugh. I suggest you please go watch this video. They named 5 things. I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm really. There's a lot of words. There's so many words that I want to say. It's like getting cluttered in my brain. But the first is that Dee Dee, Gypsy's mother, was never diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy. Dee Dee did not have 34 unnecessary surgeries done to Gypsy. There was 4. Now, if you look at Gypsy, which I have, you can see that there is definitely, it's in the eyes. You can see that there's something about the eyes, that they're kind of far apart and they're smaller. She was born with a condition. The video will talk more about this. I'm just going to kind of briefly go over it. But she was born with a condition where her head was smaller than what a baby's head should be. It's a chromosome issue. There's also another one that she was diagnosed with. I can't remember what it was called. The video mentioned it. It's where someone looks like a possum. They have like a possum face. And these are chromosomal issues, medical issues, that she was diagnosed with as a baby. And those 4 surgeries were based on them, based on her getting medical help for those chromosomal conditions. They weren't made up. They were all based on health problems that she had at birth, which I didn't know anything about. And like I said, it wasn't 34 surgeries, it was 4. And these were recommended by doctors because she had eyes. I know one of the things that she said was she had surgery on her eyes. That was necessary. All the things that were done, including the saliva glands, that was necessary, the doctors thought, for the chromosomal problems that she had. Her mother didn't have a bunch of things performed on her except for what was deemed necessary for the condition that she had. Now that blows my mind. Only 4 surgeries, not 34. And she never talks about her condition, but all those things were because of her condition. Which is shocking. All right. Also, I did hear that Nicholas, the boyfriend who is in jail for life for actually doing the crime of, I did hear that he had a low IQ. His IQ was 82. But not only does he have a low IQ, but he also is autistic, which I didn't know, and which they didn't bring up, I guess, in court. The person doing the video, again, go watch the video, Becca Scoops, Becca, and then Scoops, Scoops, sorry. This is a lot of information to take in, which is why I'm not very good at it, which is why I'm saying go see this video. But I am in shock. He's autistic. They have records, proven records, of her grooming him, manipulating him, and convincing him that her mother was torturing her and that she had to be, offed. And he tried on numerous occasions, through text you can see this, he tried on numerous occasions to talk her out and say, hey, let's just run away. You don't have to stay there anymore. She was 23 years old when this was occurring. She wasn't a child. She was old enough to leave the home if she wanted to leave the home. But instead, she manipulated this guy who didn't understand that she was manipulating him. He had no understanding of what was happening, and he even then still tried to say, hey, let's just run away, trying to talk her out of it. Now, he did the crime, yes. And I'm not saying, neither is Becca Scoops, saying that he should just be set free. Agreed, he did the crime, he needs to do time. But there should be extenuating circumstances here, because he was not the mastermind. Gypsy painted it as if Nicholas did everything. That he's violent and he became this other person from their role play, and that's how he could do what he did. She's the one who started the role play, by the way. And she manipulated him during that role play. It's shocking to me to see how she manipulated him. And, oh, well, you have to do this or you don't love me, or you have to do this or I won't see you, things like that. And remember, he has an IQ of 82 and autistic. If you know anything about autism, they have a very difficult time knowing what is sarcasm. They don't understand it. They don't understand the nuances of language. They have to be explained it. And she talked about these things for a year. She planned this. Premeditation there. She planned this whole thing. She is the mastermind behind all of it. And yet they painted the picture that her mother was sick, that Dee Dee was sick with a mental illness that she apparently didn't have. There was no records of any mental illness for her. Now, that can happen even if there is mental illness. But the 4 surgeries that were performed were given to her because of Gypsy's condition. There wasn't all these 34 surgeries. They're not there. All these things were in the records, and yet so much of this stuff wasn't presented during the court hearings at all. It was poor little Gypsy, she was just kind of the bystander, and that's why she got 8.5 years. And Nick, who's the mastermind who wanted his Gypsy, planned everything out, and he did it, and so he gets life. There's something very wrong here, very screwed up, because he, unfortunately, and I'm not saying this to be nasty, he did not have the mental capacity, the mental ability to mastermind anything. She did. if you see clips from him in court, he struggled to say anything. And yet, the lawyer who was trying to persecute him was saying that his autism is so mild that he knew exactly what he was doing. But that's not true. Nick had some unfortunate attorneys that probably weren't really skilled or knowledgeable. Well, they weren't knowledgeable about autism at all. And that should have been heavily put down so that the jury understood this guy struggles. And again, I'm not saying he should be out of jail, but why did Gypsy get 8.5 years? Well, I guess she got 10 originally. 8.5 is when she got out. Why does she get to go out? She masterminded the whole thing. If this is true, she masterminded the whole thing. She manipulated the whole thing. And she planned it out years in advance, apparently, but at least worked on Nick for at least a year before it happened. Just manipulating him and telling him, this is the only way out, this is the only way out, this is the only way that I can be with you. And if you have an IQ of 82 and you're autistic, you know, even in the text, it shows that he wasn't really understanding what she was saying until she just blatantly said, you are going to do this now. Get it done. And my guess is that night when he came over to the house, that's what she was saying. And to me, this changes everything. If this is true, and I have to take every bit of evidence with a grain of salt, you should as well. You should question everything. But if this is true, then Gypsy got away with murder. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't look at her the same way. Now, I've seen signs, which is why this sounds believable. I think you have too. If you've been paying attention at all, you can see the signs of the manipulation. The way that she manipulated Ryan, her soon-to-be ex-husband, and Ken, her soon-to-be baby daddy. She's going to have a child. What is she going to do to that child? She painted this incredibly abusive, horrific life with her mother. I'm starting to question some of that. Her mother, I don't know if she was a monster. I don't know how much of this is true or not. But Gypsy is no saint. I don't even know at this point if she's even a victim. We know Dee Dee was a victim, unfortunately. And she passed away. And probably some of the truth passed away with her. But holy smokers, man. This video really put a lot of things to light. Again, if are true, are shocking, and just disgusting. This poor man with limited mental abilities was coerced into doing such a heinous crime. And he's in prison for life, and Gypsy isn't. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to think her premeditated crime, and she only gets 8.5 years. Something is really wrong with this justice system. This is really bad if this is true. I don't know what they would do for Nicholas. I don't know what the right thing to do here would be. He definitely needs to serve his time. But why isn't Gypsy? Anyway, that's all I gotta say.